is the American higher educational institutions starting to wise up? Do you believe it's possible?
I don't think that the Ivy Leagues can be easily turned around. That's partly why we launched our own initiative. We launched Peterson Academy 2 weeks ago. We have 20,000 students already. We've got the best professors in the world, I think.
Everyone's still just really primarily concerned about getting that bag. Like Jordan Peterson's like, yes, I will come onto your Fox News show. I'm going to go and be on, national television. It's going to be free promotional for my school, for my uncredited school.
Dr. Peterson, great blazer. Great to see you. First off,
I do appreciate how he's continuing the pattern of just publicly embarrassing himself for, no reason. No one puts him up to this. It's not like, hey, are you coming on to Fox? Yes. On One Nation? Yeah, I'll be there. All right. Can you put on that clown shoe shit, Like the clown shoes equivalent of a jacket. Can you do that? Just get that fucking clown shoes aesthetic. Clowncore. Can you do the clowncore, sir? Oh yeah, I'll show you all. I'll show you who's the bozo.
I gotta ask you, are we to believe what the Democrats are saying now? That they're just getting off the wokeness?
No, I don't believe so. I think that this...
Wow. That was the opener. That's the opener question. I feel that's a front-loaded question.
is a classic maneuver by, what would you say, a group of advisors and maybe the VP herself who show the pathology associated with what's known as...
No, I don't know where he's staying. It looks like the house from Breaking Bad, but that's not his normal aesthetic. He's got this kind of mansion-esque thing that he normally films in, so I don't know where he's at.
The cluster B of personality disorders. And I really believe this. And the strategy would be this. The radical leftists, and I would put Kamala Harris in that category, have provoked for years on the DEI, racial division, culture war front, constantly prodding and poking. When the conservatives finally woke up enough to respond, the manipulators at the bottom of the Democrat organization said, oh, we don't even know what you're talking about. All this culture war stuff, where did you invent that? The real issue is the economy. The real issue is healthcare. The real issue is education. All you people are strange and weird for bringing anything.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Jordan, you posted cock milking fetish porn. You thought it was a communist breeding program, but profoundly strange and weird. You have underage followers too. Come on. Oh no, Fox News does not want me to pause this video. Also, yeah, the average everyday American, it doesn't matter if it's American, British, UK, blah, blah, blah. No one's as obsessed with this shit as right-wingers are, right? Like right-wingers, yes, you are completely obsessed with trans people, what you call culture war issues, DEI, black pilots, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, the average everyday voter is most likely going to be looking at who's going to be better for the economy, who's going to help me out of that. It's not going to be whether or not there are trans women in specific sports that I suddenly have to care about for the first time.
The economy. The real issue is healthcare. The real issue is education. All you people are strange and weird for bringing anything else up. We've been focusing on the important issues all along. I don't know what you're imagining. And that's classic cluster B manipulative behavior. And if we think that this new messaging on the part of a candidate who's using nothing but image to promote her views reflects a deeper reality, then we're deluded beyond comprehension.
That is kind of telling, too, that if you say it's nothing but image, as in, well, I think that's the way in which you see the world, right? Oh, she won't even talk about the issues that matter.
It's not like the Democrats have switched their colors suddenly, and it's not like all the people who push those DEI ideas and these equity issues have disappeared. So, no, I don't trust it a bit. I think it's a complete bloody lie. It's a manipulative, image-based lie.
What I think is really unseemly is they don't want to justify their change in behavior. They don't want to say, I've seen the light on fracking. I've seen the light on immigration. I've seen the light when it comes to a federal jobs guarantee. I see the light.
I was going to say, they kind of have in terms of that's the stuff I complain about when it comes to the Democrats. They don't seem to be anti-fracking. They seem to be harder on immigration. And they seem like right now, anyway, specifically that, new border policy was definitely trying to circumvent the Republicans on that issue. And then it's just the fact that you hate them. It's just team sports, right?
When it comes to enforcing the border.
Like, what I mean by that is that any lefty will tell you that even if you despise, which I do, hate Donald Trump, objectively, it's a good thing if you are, say, withdrawing from Afghanistan, you know, like ending that illegal occupation. That's a good thing. Doesn't mean that I don't still hate Donald Trump or think he's a piece of shit, but I can objectively be like, okay, well, this is a policy that I was hoping would happen, whether it was a Republican or a Democrat.
They're just going to do it. So it makes one wonder, did they see the ineffectiveness of their policies? Without explanation, it doesn't seem like the media is demanding that they explain themselves. Does that surprise you, Dr. Peterson?
Well, I'm shocked by what's happened, really, because the Democrats have manipulated the messaging quite successfully, transforming a candidate who has no Democratic standing in the technical sense whatsoever, who is deeply unpopular.
What does that
mean? Who is vapid, to say the least, manipulative, virtually beyond any politician I've ever seen, who is running entirely on image. And despite all that,
didn't, like, one of the QAnon guys, like maybe the guy who was Q, you know, the one who was like dropping all the kind of Q drops once it got switched from like 4chan to 8chan, wasn't he running as a politician? Like, profoundly strange and weirdo dude, you know? I was like, I think there's much more extreme examples than Kamala Harris, but what do I know?
They've managed to mount a pretty successful
Ron Watkins, thank you. Yeah,
Harris. And that really is a shock. I am very surprised that at the unbelievable temerity and gall that's associated with this, but also in its so far somewhat undeniable success. This image manipulation, but I would say as well that for the narcissists and the histrionic types, this ability to manipulate is a very deep skill. And we're seeing that on display in a manner that's really, I would say, unparalleled. So yes, it's a surprise. I mean, the depth of deception involved here is so profound that, and happening in so many ways simultaneously, that it's difficult for anyone who isn't cynical right to the bone to even admit to perceiving.
Right.
And no one's talking about other issues. It's like, well, I see, so Biden was too incompetent to run as a candidate, so we slotted someone else in who had no support whatsoever publicly, yet he's still president. And that's all of a sudden okay.
And without a teleprompter.
I don't understand it at all.
Either do, but I just have faith in the American public that they're going to demand answers before they elect somebody. I have my fingers crossed.
So Republicans, do you not realize yet that you're not running against Joe Biden anymore? I know you want to. That's very clear. I know Trump is still doing fan fiction about it, talking about how he thinks Sleepy Joe is going to wake up one day and realize that he has to like campaign. But that ship sailed. It's over now. You gotta figure out how to change gears, because right now it's just like you're just spiraling in this weird, strange whirlpool. And then J.D. Vance is not going to save you. You see, J.D. Vance is basically, hey, by the way, Gangs in New York, y'all seen that movie? You know, talking about the Irish, you know, come on.
Something else happened that's very dear to you, and that is what's happening with the Ivy League Institute in America. You used to teach at Harvard. Now we find out the University of Pennsylvania has said goodbye to their president. Harvard, Cornell, and now Columbia this week. Dr. Shafiq is now out, resigned. And part of this is the anti-Semitic behavior among the professors that were suspended. They're now fired. Is the American higher educational institutions starting to wise up? Do you believe it's possible?
By the way, when it comes to like the libs, I don't know if you all saw this. The Liberal Party pulls out a Capitol Pride parade over pro-Palestinian statement. And then this just came out. If you don't know, there was a, obviously, LGBTQ plus Pride parade that took place. And the pride of the Capitol Pride parade made a statement. And it was in support of, obviously, Palestinian liberation. We're not free until we all are. Global struggles have to unite globally kind of idea. And immediately now, the liberals are like, I don't want to play with you anymore. It's getting too intense. Yeah, we don't mind saying that, you know, we support 2S LGBTQ plus rights here domestically. But, you know, we don't also want to criticize Israel, because to do that would be anti-Semitism, apparently, of the highest order. So we're going to take a step back, and we're not going to play with you anymore.
Well, you know, when Musk took over Twitter, he had to remove about 80% of the people that worked there in order to straighten the organization out. And I think the demand for that on the higher education side is even higher. I mean, the fact that there's a few figureheads.
Scotland suspends all meetings with Israel, demands full cooperation with the international obligations, and an immediate halt to the genocide in Gaza. That just happened.
That have spectacularly imploded says very little about how pervasive the ideological corruption throughout the institutes of higher education actually is. We've seen that since October 7th. The fact that so many students and faculty have come out in full support for what's essentially a terrorist organization, Hamas, to the degree that the Ayatollah himself congratulated them, which was one of the most mind-boggling things I've ever seen. I don't think that the Ivy Leagues can be easily turned around. And that's partly why we launched our own initiative. We launched Peterson Academy 2 weeks ago. We have 20,000 students already. We've got the best professors in the world. I think that the only way the institutes of higher education...
So that kind of explains it all, by the way. If you didn't know this, a lot of the pundits, the right-wing pundits like Jordan Peterson included, they, I think, care less about helping you win elections. I'm talking to you, Republicans, by the way, and the MAGA crew. They're focusing all the time on this culture war bullshit that doesn't really resonate with voters. And honestly, the idea of going this hard against, you know, women's reproductive health as they have doesn't resonate with people as well. It actually pulls people out in red states that were usually deeply red. Now that there's alternatives, everyone's still just really primarily concerned about getting that bag. Like Jordan Peterson's like, yes, I will come onto your Fox News show. I'm going to go and be on, you know, national television. It's going to be free promotional for my school, for my uncredited school, which is essentially just like a masterclass that you can't use to ever get a job, but you can give Jordan Peterson thousands of your dollars to attend his online university where you get to listen to a whole bunch of other transphobic weirdos from the IDW, spend all day on pre-recorded videos being like, oh, that's why, you know, the trans agenda and the ideology is insidious. And then like, good luck trying to go to an employer and be like, oh, so what are your accreditations? Oh, well, I did attend Jordan Peterson U. Oh, what is that? Oh, it's an online university. Oh, like Phoenix? No, not quite like that. Even that's probably going to have some, you know, kind of vocational or technical skills that I could apply to a job here. No, I just learned how to hate gays. I spent a lot of money to learn how to really hate the gays, and so I hate gay people now, thanks to Jordan Peterson U. So can I have a job, please? Any positions available?
Hey, if you'd like to unlock secret bonus episodes as well as uncensored content, go to patreon.com/the Serfs. This show is produced by Anna Loves Riley, Arian McCarthy, Cheryl Alvarez, Comrade Junkie, Doug Caddy, Everything Important, Hagbard Celine, Jimmy Sombrero, Multimondi, Omni, Political Puppy, Preston Kroll, Quiet 185, Riley and Anna, Roller Dragon, Cernicus, Stellar Gwyn, Sebastian Demel, Travis McClinton, Trincell, Words Greenwood, with additional support coming from all of these amazing human beings right here.